So welcome back. So let us continue the last call system with the heading called traffic performance, where we basically deal with traffic performance issues or what are the constraints that we need to deal with will be discussed under this topic. So we know that if we increase the traffic offered to a particular system, the number of trunks required, that is n, must obviously be increased to provide a given grade of service. So with respect to required grade of service, if I want to provide a required amount of grade of service, like for example B equals 0.001, that means out of 1000 calls, one call can go lost. So in such system, as the traffic increases and increases, to provide this amount of grade of service, what we need to do is, it is very important to provide, or if it is very important to increase the number of trunks to provide required level of grade of service. So that is what the basic thing with respect to a telecommunication switching system is. However, for the same trunk occupancy, we know already what trunk occupancy is, capital A, already discussed in our previous classes. So for the given trunk occupancy, the probability of finding all trunks busy is very less for a large group of trunks than for a small group. So as you are having large number of trunks, as you have increased large number of trunks for the given traffic, so the trunk occupancy will be reduced. Since it is very less, or it is the probability of finding all trunks being busy is less in number. So thus, for a given grade of service, a large group of trunks can have a higher occupancy than a smaller one. So that is, the large group is more efficient. We will see how the statement holds good by considering a figure. So let us consider a figure which shows the grade of service of 0.002. That is, out of 500 calls, only one call is going to last. So with respect to this particular figure, as you can see, so what we are saying is, so we have fixed the grade of service by the system. That means out of 500 calls, only one call is going to be lost. And what we are doing is, we are continuously increasing the traffic offered to a switching system, or total traffic offered, that is expressed in Erlang. So as you goes on increasing the traffic offered, of course you have to increase the number of trunks required to be provided in order to pass this amount of traffic by a switching system. So with increasing traffic, the number of trunks also increases, we know that. But with increasing number of trunks and with increasing number of total traffic, so the occupancy of each trunk are also called as average traffic per trunk. For a particular trunk or for a single trunk, for how long duration or for how much percentage the trunk is busy is defined by occupancy A, which is discussed already in our previous classes. So it is clear that as we are having smaller amount of traffic with smaller number of trunks, so the occupancy is very less. If the occupancy is less, so that is a drawback. So because this particular trunk is being utilized for only 20% or 0.2% if I am dealing with this area. Instead, we need to maximize the utilization by having larger occupancy. Of course, that is possible only if large number of trunks are involved as well as large amount of traffic is provided. So with respect to figure number 3, trunk occupancy for full availability groups of various sizes, different sizes. So let us consider one example in which 2 Erlang of traffic required to be passed by a switching system with 7 number of trunks, and their occupancy is observed to be 0.27. So as you are offering 2 Erlang of traffic, the occupancy observed is 0.27 and the number of trunks required is around 7, for providing a grade of service of 0.002. Please note that throughout this plot, grade of service is maintained constant, and that is 0.002. For this grade of service, what we are doing is we are varying the traffic, or we are increasing the traffic as well as we are increasing the trunks, keeping this grade of service constant. So please note that the grade of service is maintained constant. However, from the same figure, so for if you are offering 20 Erlang of traffic and the required number of trunks is 32, so for 20 Erlang of traffic we need around 32 number of trunks, and observed occupancy is about 0.61 Erlang for each trunk. So it's around 0.61. Occupancy is around 0.61. So that is one advantage, right? So larger the occupancy, larger the trunk is being utilized. So with a grade of service of 0.002. So that is one important figure which shows how. So it is clear that we have to use larger number of traffic or larger amount of traffic by using larger number of trunks to provide or to maximize the occupancy. So since large group of trunks are more efficient than smaller groups, it is better to concentrate traffic onto a single large group of trunks than to handle it by several small groups of trunks. So the principle of concentration comes into effect, or the principle of concentration is applied widely in our telecommunication network. So it implies that we can do concentration by making use of concentrators. So there are equipments like concentrators as well as expanders. So generally concentrators are used for concentrating the traffic. So why we need to concentrate the traffic? So for an exchange, let us consider a local exchange. For this local exchange, so we will be having so many number of incoming subscriber lines. Let us assume around 100 subscriber lines are connected to a local exchange. From this local exchange, certain number of trunks should be going. Instead of passing 100 number of trunks for another exchange, so what we can do is we can make use of, we can make use of 25 number of trunks from local exchange to next exchange, assuming that out of 100 we may have 25 number of calls at a time at max. So in such case, no problem, all 25 calls can be passed through a trunks. But if so, please note that if you are using 25 number of trunks to pass all 100 or to provide connection to 100 subscribers, then instead of using 100 trunks, we can make use of, or we can, all job can be done with the help of 25 trunks. So that is what concentration is. So all traffic is concentrated into 25 different group of trunks. Let us say at the input end all 50 incoming subscribers are busy. So in such case, so to provide all 50 subscribers, what we can do is we can make use of multiplexing, time division multiplexing. We can multiplex all 50 signals, and all 50 signals can be transferred over only 25 different trunks. So by concentrating the traffic, so what we do is we will increase the traffic into the trunks with the help of concentrators. Of course, we will deal with how to multiplex signals. All 50 signals can be multiplexed and passed through 25 different trunks. We'll consider multiplexing in our coming classes. So by doing this concentration, what we do is, or what we can do is, instead of passing so many number of trunks, we can use a sufficient number of trunks, and the offered traffic is more. We can increase the occupancy. So by increasing occupancy, we know utilization is more, or we can optimize the system. So in an example, let us consider a local exchange where the traffic from a large number of low occupancy subscriber lines is concentrated onto a smaller number of high occupancy trunks. Okay, so we are making use of high occupancy trunks. So if you are using high occupancy trunks, that means that cost is less, or that means that we are optimizing the resources. One drawback of this system, that is high occupancy trunks, is, or the penalty paid by this is, for the high efficiency of large group of trunks, is that the grade of service is going to deteriorate more with increased amount of traffic. So that is, with traffic overloads, the grade of service is going to decrease to a maximum level. So which is a drawback, again a drawback. Of course, as the traffic overload occurs only during busy hours, we can go for high occupancy trunks. So let us consider one more figure 4, which shows how the grade of service is going to vary with different offered traffics for different sizes of groups, or for different number of trunks involved. Of course, we are considering where all dimensions are provided a grade of service of 0.002 at their normal traffic load. So at their normal traffic load, we are considering a grade of service of 0.002. It means that, so in this particular figure, so we are basically dealing with the effect of overload on grade of service. So let us consider 5 different trunks being utilized, and the offered traffic is some amount A, Erlang traffic is offered with a grade of service of 0.002. And of course, right now we are not overloading, so we are saying it as 0. Similarly, let us consider one more scenario in which we are making use of 100 different trunks, and we are offering certain large amount of traffic A Erlang with the given grade of service of 0.002 with 0% of overloading. That is, when normal operation, this is the grade of service in both examples. That is with respect to 5 trunks as well as with respect to 100 different trunks. So as we increase the overloading, that is, if we increase the percentage overload, the grade of service is going to deteriorate. With increase in overload, the grade of service with respect to 5 trunks will be increasing like this. If I am saying grade of service is increasing, that means the system is going to become worse and worse with increase in overload, because we know that grade of service should be minimized. Grade of service is denoted by B, capital B. So this is what with respect to 5 trunks, whereas with respect to 100 trunks with large number of trunks and with large amount of traffic. So if you increase overload, or if congestion is increasing and increasing, the grade of service will increase in a maximum way as shown in this plot. Similarly, with respect to intermediate number of trunks, we can observe plot like this. So by this figure it is clear that if you are having smaller number of trunks, then the grade of service deterioration will be less with increase in overload. But if you are having larger number of trunks, the grade of service will deteriorate in a very small percentage of overload as shown in this figure. So that is what figure 4 defining effect of overload on grade of service. So of course, initially with normal operation we were having 0.002 as the grade of service, but once overload occurs, the grade of service will increase. Of course, even though the grade of service is increasing, since as we said previously, with increased number of trunks and with increased traffic, we are increasing the occupancy, which is nothing but optimization. So we go for this, even though we are observing grade of service being increased, we try to use large number of trunks by using concentrators. Large number of trunks are used. So as we have shown in this figure, for a group of 5 trunks, 10% of overload, for a group of 5 trunks, 10% of overload increases the grade of service by 40%. Previously it was this. Once it has gone to 10% overload, the percentage increase in grade of service is observed to be 40%. However, for the grade of, that is for the group of 100 trunks, it causes the grade of service to increase by 550%. Okay. For 100 different trunks, the grade of service is increasing drastically with increasing percentage of overload. So for this reason, most telecommunication operating companies adopt a dual criteria. 2 grade of service are specified, basically one for the normal traffic overload or the normal traffic load, and another for larger grade of service for a given percentage overload. So let us consider one example where a telecommunication operating company is defining that a grade of service of B, let us assume B of 0.002 at the normal load and 5B for a 20% of overload. Is it clear? So grade of service has increased by 5 as overload increases to 20%. So that is what a general telecommunication operating companies will define. So they will be defining 2 different grade of service, one at normal and the other one at certain overload condition. So in many switching systems, trunks in a group are selected by means of a sequential search. So this is very important. So in any switching system, of course, it may be a last call system or a queuing system, you will be having n number of trunks at the output of a switching system. We know that. So which trunk need to be selected will be decided with the help of a sequential search. So generally the trunks are selected by making use of a sequential search. So a call is not connected to a trunk number 2 unless trunk 1 is busy. If it is not connected to trunk number 3 unless both trunk 1 and trunk 2 are busy, and so on. So like this it happens. So calls finding the last choice trunk busy or lost. If the last call or if the last trunk is also busy, then if additional call is coming, such cases, so such calls are going to be lost. As a result, the first trunk has a very high occupancy and the traffic carried by subsequent trunks is less. So it is clear that trunk number 1 is always busy, because if you increase the traffic, so trunk number 2 will takes the remaining load. Of course, we will consider what is the importance of this in our coming equations. So it is clear that maximum time we find trunk 1 being busy all the time. So if trunk 1 is busy all the time, then we can say very high occupancy is observed in trunk number 1, and the traffic carried by subsequent trunks are going to be less. Of course, the last choice trunk, that is the last trunk, is very lightly loaded. So let us consider a figure which shows a group of 20 trunks and their behavior. So as we can see here, so this figure shows the distribution of traffic over trunks for a group with sequential search. So let us say total traffic offered is around 12 wire long. For this 12 wire long offered traffic, trunk number 1 is busy all the time. Let us say trunk number 1 is busy all the time, and let us say the occupancy of the trunk number 1 is almost nearer to 1, or let us say 0.95 or 0.9, something like that. Similarly, the trunk number 2 will be somewhat less occupied. Similarly, trunk number 4 will be somewhat less occupied. I am speaking with respect to this 12 wire long traffic offered to a n number of trunks. Let us say 20 different trunks are involved. Capital N is 20. So similarly, we will observe trunk number 18 occupancy is somewhat very less, because almost all load will be taken care by previous trunks. So if trunk number 1 is busy, then trunk number 2 comes into will be acting. Similarly, if trunk number 2 is busy, that extra load will be forwarded to trunk number 3. Similarly, if this is also busy, trunk number 4 will be forwarding the call. So like this, almost trunk number 20 is less utilized with an observed occupancy of 0.1, almost 0.1. Occupancy, you can say, or traffic carried by each trunk expressed in Erlang. Traffic carried by each trunk is nothing but occupancy of a trunk. Is it clear? Similarly, for different offer traffic, you will observe how each trunks are taking the load. Almost, if you are offering 4 wire long with 20 different number of trunks, almost so many last trunks are not being utilized at all. So depending upon what is the traffic need to be forwarded, we will go for selecting what is the number of trunks to be used. So the performance of such an arrangement, that is sequential search arrangement, can be analyzed as follows. So let us say the traffic A Erlang is offered to a group of trunks. Let us say n number of trunks are involved. So from Erlang last call formula, the grade of service of a single trunk group is given as E1, 1 of A. So in place of n, I am having only one trunk is involved in this particular system. So the grade of service of a single trunk is given by, if I substitute in place of n, if I substitute 1 in this equation, I will end up with A by 1 plus 1. So it is clear that, so this equation defines what is the grade of service of a single trunk switching system. E1, 1 gives A by 1 plus A. So the traffic overflowing from the first trunk to the second can be calculated as. So we know once trunk 1 is almost busy, so that extra traffic that is overflowing from trunk 1, the extra traffic that is overflowing from trunk 1 can be computed as A into E of 1 comma 1 of A. So that means A into grade of service of that particular system. So that is what the extra traffic that is going out of trunk 1. So that is given by A into grade of service of that particular system, that is E1 comma 1 of A, and that is equal to, if I multiply A for this, it will be A square by 1 plus A. So this is what the traffic that is overflowing from trunk number 1. Of course, if you are having only one trunk, then this is the traffic that is lost in our system. So it is clear that the traffic carried by the first trunk is going to be traffic offered minus traffic lost. So traffic carried by first trunk will be equal to traffic offered minus traffic lost by that particular first trunk, and that is given by traffic offered to the first trunk is A long of traffic is applied, and the traffic that is overflowing from first trunk is A square by 1 plus A, and if I solve this, I will end up with A by 1 plus A. So in this case, A by 1 plus A is grade of service. So this is what the traffic carried by first trunk, that is A by 1 plus A. Similarly, I can calculate, if we are having two different trunks are involved, then I can calculate traffic carried by second trunk as traffic overflowing from first trunk minus traffic overflowing from the second trunk. Or I can say that traffic carried by second trunk is traffic offered to the second trunk. Traffic offered to the second trunk is nothing but traffic overflowing from the first trunk minus the traffic overflowing from second trunk. Coming to this equation, so the traffic carried by second trunk will be traffic overflowing from first trunk, of course, that is equal to A into E of 1 comma 1 of A minus traffic overflowing from second trunk. I can calculate it to be offered traffic A into grade of service of this, that is E1 comma 2 of A. E1 comma 2 of A. So similarly, in general, I can say that the traffic carried by kth trunk to be equal to traffic lost from group of first k minus 1 trunks minus traffic lost from group of first k trunks. Is it clear? So a very important relation. So traffic carried by kth trunk is given to be equal to traffic lost from previous all trunks, that is traffic lost from group of first k minus 1 trunks minus traffic lost from this particular kth trunk, or traffic lost from group of first k trunks. Whatever the traffic lost from k trunk will be equal to the traffic lost from a group of first k trunks, since k number of trunks are involved. So, or in general, I can write this equation to be traffic carried by k trunk to be A into E1 comma k minus 1 of A minus A into E1 comma k of A. By taking A outside, I can write traffic carried by kth trunk to be equal to E1 comma k minus 1 of A minus E1 comma k of A. A very important relation, because with respect to this relation, we can expect some example problems. So let us consider one example problem in which it is defined that if sequential selection is used for the group of 5 trunks offered with 2 erlong of traffic, how much traffic is carried by first choice trunk by the last choice trunk So they are saying that 5 trunks are being utilized by the switching system and the offer traffic is 2 year long, and we need to find what is the traffic carried by first choice trunk or first trunk. Similarly, what is the traffic carried by last choice trunk? That means traffic carried by fifth trunk. We need to calculate. So first let us calculate with respect to first choice trunk. So traffic carried by first choice trunk will be exactly equal to grade of service of that first choice trunk into capital E offer traffic. We know that. Sorry, the traffic overflowing from first trunk is A into E1, 1 of A. So right now we need to calculate the traffic carried by first choice trunk. So the traffic carried by first choice trunk is equal to the grade of service of single trunk group, right? The traffic carried by first choice trunk will be exactly equal to the grade of service of single trunk group. Accordingly, we can write the grade of service of single group trunk E1, 1 of A to be equal to A by 1 plus A. Of course, we have discussed here grade of service of first group trunk is A by 1 plus A. So this is what the traffic, if this is the grade of service means E1, 1 of A, which is A by 1 plus A, which defines the quality of that particular system with a single trunk. So here also we computed it to be 0.67 long. So the traffic carried by first choice trunk is about 0.67 long in this case. Even though the offer traffic is 2 long, the traffic carried by first trunk is just about 0.67 long. Okay. Similarly, if I want to calculate the last choice trunk, I need to calculate the grade of service of the last choice trunk, that is with 5 different trunks. Similarly, I need to calculate grade of service of 4 different trunks. So E1, 5 of A can be computed using last call formula, Erlang last call formula, or also called as Erlang B formula, to be equal to A power 5 by 5 factorial by summation k varying from 0 to 5 A power 5 by 5 factorial. And if I use solve, then the grade of service E1, 5 of A with 5 different trunks, what will be the grade of service provided by the system is found to be 0.037. Similarly, if we are using 4 different trunks with offer traffic 2 year long, then same equation, of course in place of 5 we will be using 4, we will end up with 0.095. So you may observe with 5 different trunks the grade of service is good compared to 4 different trunks, which is observed to be 0.095. So is somewhat more compared to this. So now with this, from this general formula, I can calculate traffic carried by fifth trunk. Traffic carried by fifth trunk to be traffic carried by last choice trunk, that is fifth trunk, will be equal to traffic overflowing from 4 trunks, that is E1, 4 of A into A, minus traffic going out or traffic overflowing from fifth trunk, that is A into E1, 5 of A, that is the grade of service. So if I calculate, then I will end up with 0.12 long is the traffic carried by last choice trunk. So you may observe traffic carried by first choice trunk is about 0.67 long, but the traffic carried by last choice trunk is just about 0.12 long. So this defines the occupancy of last trunk, and this defines the occupancy of first trunk. I want you to calculate traffic carried by second trunk, third trunk as well as fourth trunk, and please comment below this example or with respect to this video.